So if you're in trade school, you're learning about HVAC, you're learning about best practices, you're learning about the best procedures to use when you're charging a system, when you're servicing a furnace. You know what to do because you've been explained the procedure for several different things. And that's a good thing. And that is nice things to know for sure. It's hard to learn it in the field. I learned it in the field and had to kind of go back in time with some of my learning because I had it right there in real time, which is a good thing. There are benefits to that, but there are certain things that are nice to know that the school would have taught you. Some of the book learning things that you don't know out there learning on the job do come in handy. They create shortcuts. The knowledge of knowing how to do certain things. Basically, one of the things that I stumbled onto, formulas like load formulas and things like that, they're very beneficial. I didn't know those before. I could do some service work, but I didn't know how to calculate SEER, BER, how to calculate total BTU capacity, cooling. Those are great things to know. And you can have a great technician that can fix anything that doesn't know any of those things. But those things also unlock a new area for you to go into in your career, make you all the more valuable, which is a good thing. However, we're not talking about that today. We can talk about that some other time. HVAC Shop Talk is brought to you by TrueTechTools.com. Find all the HVAC testing equipment you need and use our Shop Talk discount code to save 8%. And Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket is now selling new manifold kits with backpacks, so you can have a nice backpack to carry your manifold and any other tool, like I know you HVAC techs will, cram in there. Find out more at yellowjacket.com. There is a time in your career where you reach the point where you find out if you chose the right career. I believe every career has that. On the last video, a lot of people commented that what I was talking about was applicable to several different trades and different businesses throughout the spectrum of not only construction or service industry, but just careers in general. I do agree with that. I like to tailor my stuff to HVAC because I spent my life in HVAC, and I understand that other careers actually fit into the mold of some of the things I'm saying, and I think that's good. And I absolutely understand that, so if you're in a different trade, you might benefit from some of these conversations. There's a moment in time where I think you are put to the test for finding out, do you have what it takes? I'm going to focus on service work because I did service work mainly, but this applies to install work. This applies to a lot of different things if you just adapt some of the language. You will reach a point where you know what to do, how to do it, and you are tested to see if you have the character to do it. Here's what I mean. It is easy to do best practices and procedures when you have a boss that gives you 2 hours to do a maintenance. You can do whatever overkill stuff you want to do. You can break out your iManifold. You can find out what the EER is. You can do all that stuff, and I like that stuff. But not everybody has time to do that, and not everybody's boss sees the benefit of doing that, and that's okay. Where I come from, that's what they say. Different strokes for different folks. Doesn't make you right or wrong necessarily, but not giving a technician the proper amount of time is an issue. You won't always get the time you need to do a service call, do a maintenance. What do you do when you're put to the test? You've had 4 calls, 5 calls, 6 calls, and you get a 7th call. Are you putting the effort in on the 7th call that you did on the first call? Or do you just want to wrap it up? Because no matter who you are out there, no matter how good you think you are, inside and out, there is a time when you are tempted to just do a shortcut so you can get out of there. I know that because I have succumbed to that temptation many times, and I think that talking about it will help benefit your career, whoever I'm talking to out there, benefit your career because you'll be able to hear this and say, okay, there's other guys like me. They understand how I feel. I'm going to push through. We're not saying to cut corners because we're permitting it. We're saying that we all know what we're going through, and that makes us a little stronger. We're able to do more, I believe, with that knowledge. Guys, what I've found from doing these videos is that there's a ton of you guys and gals out there who go through the exact same thing that I went through for many, many years doing service and install. We understand the trials and tribulations that we go through. We can't permit or say it's okay to cut corners no matter what. But we can rely on each other and turn to each other for support when we need to get that extra little bit of energy to finish what we started. Now, myself, for a long time, I didn't have any support or any understanding. I talked about bosses, co-workers. There is probably predominantly over 50% of the trade that could care less about some of the things that we prize, some of the calculations we like to do, some of the time we like to take on stuff, because we know each other out there. A lot of you guys have watched this channel for a long time. We want to do a good job. We want to do the best job we can do. We like using the tools. We like making the calculations. But that is a feeling that's not shared by everybody out there, including some of the people that you are employed by. You can't compromise what is right. You may not always be able to do everything you want to do, but you can do it in a way where you've done the best you can. Can't go out and get fired. I understand that. But you can't cut corners and succumb to things you know are wrong either. You should never permit yourself to do that. Saying that, I've done the wrong thing more times than I could ever count. I'm going to ask you guys to offer support to other tradesmen and tradeswomen by doing two things. First of all, you can support me by doing a little like on this video if you're enjoying it, enjoying the discussion. Second thing is, I want you to go down to the comments and write down a situation where you either succumb to the temptation of cutting corners, and that takes a lot of guts to do, because many guys, they don't do that. All they do is preach from up above, tell you what they do, they talk with authority as they are instructing you on how to live. And a lot of times those guys are right. They are right. But I always respected a guy that could admit when he was wrong and talk about it. That's what I try to do here, because I've been wrong so many times. There's more content that way. If I talk about what I've done right, then the channel will have left videos. So I want you guys to write down, where did you succumb to temptation, or where did you prevail? Either one is fine, or both. Make multiple comments down below. I love to read them. Maybe we can make a video talking about those too. It's a real bad thing in this trade where we have to kind of push on and go forward, even though we don't have the energy. We are burned out. We want to make it home. It's tough to keep going like that. And it would be really good to read some of the stories that we've written down here in the comments to help give us some support and just some brotherhood or sisterhood in what we're doing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, put a like on it. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member. There's a link in the little end screen of this video, or you can go down in the description of the video and find a link there. I'd appreciate that as well. If you take time to leave a comment talking about some of the issues we've discussed, I really do appreciate that too. It means a lot to me. And I will see each and every one of you next time, hopefully. And God bless every one of you.